Generic greetings and welcome to Aviassembly. Today's beverage is a very nice rooibos or red bush tea. So welcome to, I believe it's pronounced Aviassembly. This is a plane building and iteration game where essentially you start off with a very basic airplane that you build yourself out of parts, and then you'll do different jobs. So it'll be ferrying cargo from one place to the other, unlocking different landing strips in airports and exploring the map, getting different parts for the plane to upgrade it and iterate, and also change it in various ways and have different configurations and specifications. So it might be to go really fast, or to carry heavy cargo, or have perishables on board, etc. Basically, the summary is I've been very much enjoying the game, and I was going to do a standalone video of it naturally. However, I think it would be rude of me not to do at least a little bit of the campaign. So it even might just be a mini campaign where we go through, and this is a bit of a spoiler, so fair warning. There are 3 islands in this build of the game. It is in early access, by the way, and yeah, we're going to do, at least the plan is to do at least the first island, and well, let's just see how we get on, and hopefully, obviously, it's enjoyable. By all means, leave comments for tips, suggestions, various builds and design requirements, whatever you want to put forward would be very much greatly appreciated. Let's just go to play and to new game, and the game definitely flings you in a bit at the deep end from the very beginning. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is. So you gain 650 generic units of currency at the very start, and you have various tabs to build your plane. So it's broken down into, well, I'm not too sure what the exact name is, but let's just call it the sort of fuselage and cockpit section. You've got your sort of lift stuff, so it's all to do with wings and tails and ailerons, that sort of thing. You've got your main drive, so propellers, jet engines, that sort of thing. Is that a rocket engine? Okay, I've not actually unlocked everything in the game. You've also got your sort of landing gear, which I think some of it, yeah, is retractable, and then you've got electronics, and then you've got miscellaneous. So basically, we need to make something, so let's just go with a cockpit. So we click on that, and it spends 100 generic units of currency and gives us a total of how much? 10 cargo. The game is quite arcadey, and I don't say that in a bad way. I actually, I say, enjoy the way it does things. It breaks things down into weight, fuel allowance, and also the amount of cargo it can carry. There is also like weight for the cargo that you. Cargo is broken down into weight and space, so it could be physically large but really light, or the other way around, or basically both. So we've got this one here, so that is fine. Let's go with a fuselage, which I'm going to put on the back there, and you can freeform the whole thing, so you can sort of telescope this out if you really want to. You can change the sort of size of it like that if you want to try and make a bit of a rocket. You can also do more advanced stuff by clicking on it and change things like the overall elevation, like so that you can angle it right up like that if you really want to, or you can go with scale as well, so you can sort of scale it up and down. Some of the parts you can't, like the cockpit, you can only basically move it around, but there you go. Anyway, let's just go with something very basic, and we're going to go with wood wings, so I'm just going to place it there. And I'm going to go with mirror, and then click on that one, and we mirror it on the other side. Let me just put on the CG, which shows you the center of gravity, which is further back. So ideally, we want the wings above there. Let's not put the wings like that. I don't know how the game simulates the various like lift systems and things like that. Like, obviously this one doesn't have any ailerons or any sort of way to make the plane actually, you know, function properly, but you know, it is what it is. Let me go over to some engines here, and I'm going to put an engine right on the front, and we don't have any, I don't have enough money to actually build this thing, but whatever. Let me just go ahead and shrink that down a little bit, probably just to, it's going to be quite a stubby aeroplane, this thing, I think, isn't it? Maybe to there. I've got 150 left, and I'm going to put in some wooden wheels on the very front. Let me turn off mirroring here. On the back, to be honest, you don't even need a rear wheel. You can get away without it, I've found, but we're going to keep it on for the time being. A tail wing will go on there, and ideally you want one there and there as well. So that is the plane in brief. Let me just expand this out to basically get it to Yeah, be like that. This can then go back, and that is our very, very basic Mark 1 standard plane. So we can save and load it, and we will be doing some of that one. You can also paint it different colours, so we can go with like you know, well, whatever colours you want. We can go with a sort of green meanie, or British racing green perhaps. We're just going to keep it probably the sort of clear white for now, although I do like the idea of having sort of canvas coloured wings on that one. Okay, that sort of matches up with the propeller, although it does actually look like wood. Or to be fair, that does actually say wood wing. Obviously the parts do different things, so wood wing, everything has a weight. Certain things have lift and speed and strength. I assume strength is like how much damage it can take. You've got weight, cargo, you've got weight, lift, dragged, strength. Let's see, this has got thrust. Yeah, there you go, fine. Load limits on the wheels and that sort of thing. We can click on drag and see where the main drag bits are. Well, obviously it's on the flat side of it, so yeah. Anyway, we click the fly button and we start off in here. Now, I don't know if you can use gamepad. My preference is always mouse and keyboard. That's a standard procedure for me. But yeah, we've got on the bottom left our throttle controls, electricity, fuel, speed, altitude, and let's just press M to look at the map. So we are here. And you can see how big the map can be. Again, early access, but I assume things are going to increase in size and scope. I think it has done very well, so scope probably has been engaged. Anyway, let's just hold space and we will engage some throttle and we'll go down the runway and then we'll try and pull up. It's not working, it's not working, it's still not working, it's still not working, and we're off. Okay, so it says go off and roll, so we got W, S and D basically to, pitch and roll. You can do yawing, so yeah, you can see the tail working well there, and we're now coming up to a hospital, I believe this is. So I'm going to throttle down, and our angle of attack is very, very poor, but we might be able to just glide it in. That was actually a lot smoother than it had any right to be. So it says here, I'll hold control and that basically puts the brakes on and engages reverse thrustington. Okay, so it says we've suddenly lost power. Can you deliver 2 small batteries to keep the hospital running? So quest has been added, so we can go over to select new quest and you can mouse over the various areas. So this is the hospital, this is the wind turbine. Certain places will provide various cargo, so the wind turbines provide batteries and heavy batteries. I'm going to click on the hospital because that is the only mission quest, what does it call it? Anyway, it's this one here. So we need to go over to the wind turbine. So it's highlighted not only on the minimap but also in the world as well. What I'm going to do is refuel, and I can actually load some cargo. And I'm actually going to load a couple of pieces of cargo here. This is medicine, and I don't know if medicine is required at the next destination, but there's no reason not to load it because, quite frankly, you don't pay for any of this. So you know, you might as well bring it over. If you know, if the avoidance of doubt, just bring it over. If you need to dump it, then that's fine, that's all good. So we're exploring the map here. We can see it's quite a temperate climate, and we've got sort of water and lakes and wind turbines here, and we're just going to glide this in. And again, not a bad job at landing that, if I do say so myself. So we will pull up here, and a bird flew into wind turbines. Can you deliver 2 medicine? Yes, thank you for the medicine. Here are 45 coins for the effort. So we've got generic units of currency for that one, and we'll use that to build obviously bigger and better planes. We've heard that the hospital needs your help, so I'm going to refuel because the fuel was down, so it's fine. Load cargo, it's going to be 2 batteries, I believe it requires. Yes, it's shown on the bottom right there. And I mean, ideally we would turn around, but I think I have enough fuel to probably get to the end of the runway and then do a bit of a 180, so we'll do that and then spin it round, and there we go. We could have yawed around, but I think this will be fine. And okay, I've already regretted my decision. I'm looking at the fuel, and this is something that I'll be doing quite often because yeah, that's just a big part of the game. You'll be managing your fuel and things like that. What I'll do is I'll gain some altitude and then I'll pull back on the throttle and just sort of slowly coast it. Actually, we've got loads of fuel for this job here. This is obviously the very basic of airplanes that you can make from the beginning, but later on you do get like jet engines and turboprops, I think, and things like that. So we've landed there and quite buttery smooth. Thank you for the delivery. Here are 25 coins and 10 scrap for the effort. You can use this to research new parts and upgrade your plane. Yes, we can. So we've gained some of that, which is good, and we could use even more batteries to keep the hospital going. Can you deliver 4 small batteries and 2 big batteries? Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I am going to... Oh, what on earth is going on? Okay, that's right. That's broke. Let me just get off the ground because there seems to be an earthquake going on here, and looks like the tower's gone down. What was that? It seems like an earthquake. Yes. Can you check around the island, see if people need of help? You should also visit the weather station to find out what's going on. And I forgot to refuel, so yeah, we're going to follow the sky. So that shows you what happens when. When you don't fuel up, you tend to hit the ground and make some explosions. So, we have an option to go to the last airport and repair. Again, doesn't cost us, quite arcadey, nice on that one. Or we can go back to the base and edit the plane. The base is the only place that you can actually edit the plane. So we go back to map and you can see we're still here. So we've got the hospital, we've also got the wind turbines, which I know from experience have suffered a bit of damage. There's also a weather station now that's been opened up. As you fly across the map, when you go over these tiles, you will open the map up as well. So research, what can we do? Well, we can go with a engine, a better engine. We could go with a small fuel tank, which in my experience is pretty good. I'm gonna go with how many have we got? We've got 10 scrap. I think there's also electronics, which is later on. So the first engine, it's a wood engine. Its weight 1.5, thrust of 10, with a fuel consumption of 2. The next one is a little bit heavier at 1.8, but it's got a thrust of 15, but it's also got a higher fuel consumption. So I'm not entirely sure that would work. I would like to unlock the wing, but the problem with that is that it's going to probably cost more than I have. So I'm going to pick up the small fuel tank, we'll unlock that, and go to edit plane. So back over to the editing system and to miscellaneous, and let's put the small fuel tank. So, oh no, small fuel tank is well, it's it's not big enough. Okay, that's sorry, it's good. It's just it costs 100 generic units of currency, so I'm just going to have to fly. So let's continue on. What I'm going to do is visit the wind turbines, probably in one go. I might be able to get there, so you can see the distance is shown there. So it's 4.6 and increasing. Well, decreasing, I guess. Is more accurate. The distance is decreasing, but we are increasing our speed, and I should be able to get there. And then obviously we need to carry back and forward some batteries. There will be quite a bit of repetitiveness in some of the deliveries, so you know that's just how it is. But the moment to moment is still quite engaging, so we're just going to glide this in, and we can see we've had some damage on the wind turbines. What I mean by some damage is 2 of the wind turbines are no longer standing, so we've landed that. It was a bit bumpy, but we're now here. The earthquake destroyed 2 of the wind turbines. He also injured during the earthquake. Can you get 3 medicine and 2 tools? So I know for tools, if we look on this one, tools are over here. We cannot make that trip in one go, which is a bit of a shame, so I'm going to refuel, and because we can, I'm going to take off, and I'm going to visit the weather station, because trees, okay. I know a lot of this plane is made out of wood, and we would have definitely harvested some more if we crashed into those. Okay, so visiting the weather station, and this will also have its own set of requirements, so we're slowly gliding in. Bit of a dodgy angle, but we should be able to make it, and there we go. Again, the game is quite generous in how it does things. So we're gathering data about the earthquake, but unfortunately our building has become unsafe due to the tremors. Could you help by delivering materials to reinforce it? Another quest added. So we're going to click on that one, and it's deliver 2 lumber and 1 wood logs all the way over there. What I'm going to do, quite frankly, is just do a bit of ferrying between the hospital and the wind turbines. So let's go ahead and refuel and put a little bit of power on, and we're going to spin this around, and it says desert. You can see over there. You can't go there unless you've basically completed the weather station on this place first. I don't know if you have to do the rest of it, but it is what it is. So refueled and almost clipped the corn there. That was a bit close. So we'll max throttle this up, and we will go for some lift. It's not actually taking off very well at all. There's also another place on the right which looks like a village, and there's also some scrap here. So as you fly around, you'll find various piles of scrap. I've sort of went off on a bit of a jaunt over this way. I didn't really sort of mean to come here, but well, it is fine. So we'll spin around and we'll do a bit of a landing. Static, can you hear me? Signal lost and adjusting. Okay, so another part of the story here, and we'll just sort of put the brake on. Village got hit by an earthquake. Can you help us get back on our feet? Another quest added. So let's just see what this one is. It's going to be batteries, medicine, fruit. Yeah, all fine. Okay, so again, just going to focus on the very first one for now, which is going to be trying to pick up some batteries. Let me see if we can take off. There we go. Okay. In my experience, when you first start, what you can often do is get rid of that back wheel, because the game's generous, and it basically just allows you to scrape the entire fuselage across the ground, and not only do you save weight, you save some money as well. But yeah, okay, so we'll pull back on the throttle a little bit, and we'll just sort of glide this in, and again, not terrible at all. I know I've read about this, and people are rightly or wrongly comparing it a bit to Kerbal, and yeah, I can see where the comparison lies. Don't know how accurate it is. I think it's a bit more arcadey than that one, but still. Anyway, over to the hospital, and we are taking the batteries. It's only the standard small batteries. Large batteries are a little bit, well, they are definitely heavier, but they also take up physically more space. Let me actually land this thing before I crash on the end of the runway, and again, that wasn't terrible. Okay, thank you for the delivery. Here are 24 coins for the effort. Only need one more small battery. Okay, and you can just go reset and repair, and sometimes it's worth it because it automatically turns the plane around. Hang on, wait, let me stop actually a second. Refuel. Where is the next one? We need 3 medicine. Oh yeah, so load cargo, 1, 2, 3. We can only load 2. Well, that's fine. We're gonna have to go back and forward, and those are some very large sunflowers on the right there. Anyway, we will take off and hopefully not crash into the timber. And let's see about going over here. I probably want to explore a little bit around the right to unlock some more parts, because you get, like, say, scrap as you explore. But yeah, let's see. So I'll just glide this in and touch down, and there we go. Thank you for the delivery. Here are 33 coins for the effort. Only need 1 more medicine. So what I'll do is, I think I'll reset and repair. I don't know which way it's going to face us. It's facing us the wrong way, so I'm going to have to go at the end of the runway and turn around. So you can't load cargo when you're going, like, really fast. You can if you're going like a fairly slow speed, like now. You can load the cargo. It's fine. Let me go ahead and reverse this one. Let's see. There we go. Altering the pitch of the prop, no doubt, and as if I know what I'm talking about. And then turn around to here. Okay, so refuel, load cargo, 1 batteries, and big batteries weight for 55 size. That is their space. Okay, and we can only take 39. Alright, I think for big batteries we will almost certainly have to just unlock some more wings, unlock some more engines, that sort of thing. But anyway, over to the hospital once again, and drop this off, and I'll have to see how many medicine is required elsewhere. I think one of them required 5 medicine in the village. Let me slow this down. Oh, okay, this is that's ambulances. I'm gonna need them, and we're down. I wasn't worried at all. Okay, there's some coins for the effort, which is handy. We can now get a fuel tank, not that I really need one. Refuel is standard procedure, so we need 2 big batteries, which we can't do. We need 1 medicine over here and 5 medicine over here. Okay, so, well, what I'm going to do is we know that reset will spin us round, so we'll do that first, and then we'll load 2 medicines and we'll head over to this one, to the wind farm. I was going to say battery plant. I mean, I guess it is producing batteries, but still. What about elsewhere? What about over here? Lumber and logs. Okay, I think the logs are about 100 and odd in weight, 120. Actually, well, let me check, because I've taken the liberty of one of the things that the game doesn't do, and I don't know if this is a deliberate design choice or rather an oversight, but it doesn't tell you from, as far as I can tell, from anywhere on the UI, like on the map and stuff, it doesn't tell you the weights and sizes of things. Again, don't know if that's a deliberate choice, or whether it's just, like I say, oversight, but I've taken the liberty of writing down some of the more pertinent stuff. So I know that the weight of wood logs is 8 and 120 in space, so there's no way we can do that. Tools are 25, so we can do that. That is fine. And I do have 1 medicine in the cargo bay. If we go over to here, that requires batteries and medicine and fruit. Refuel, we'll take some batteries. There was 2 batteries. I'm going to head over to the other area here, which is the town. So we'll take off. We'll take off. I mean, I'm willing it to take off rather than it actually taking off. There we are. We'll head over here and we'll drop this off again. We're not completing any of the quests in its entirety, but every time we do this we will unlock different bits, so that's all good. So just slow this down, bring it in gently, and well, there was some it wasn't terrible. 3.6. Thank you for the delivery, and here's some 17 coins for the effort. Only need 3 more small batteries. Surely I've also dropped off the medicine, right? Thank you for the delivery. Here's 9. Oh yeah, so it's done it 2 separate bits. Okay, so that's good. So we'll stop here. We've got 231 generic units of currency, and I know that over there we've got the lumber camp, and over there we've got the farm, and where is it? Over there we've got another town as well. Okay, my question is, can I get over to the lumber camp? I probably can, but let's just see. I might end up going back to the start, but I'm trying not to repeat. Okay, trying not to repeat the journeys where, you know, I sort of don't need to. Noticing on the left here a lighthouse, and we are about halfway to our destination, which is the lumber camp. What we'll have to do is we'll have to basically go from one landing site to the other, and like there's no way we're going to be able to do this from here to the wind farm in one go. That's just not going to happen. So we'll pull up here. We're trying to clean up the mess left by the earthquake, but we need batteries. Can you deliver them? So now it's asking for batteries. Refuel, load cargo. It's asking for some tools. Lumber is 45. Wood logs is 120. Over there is batteries, medicine. The farm is probably going to require something similar. Lumber and logs and tools. I think basically we're going to go back over to the wind turbine. Let me just spin this around. And it says snow over there. That's I believe it's the next biome that we will go to. Let's just spin this around, and oh, hang on, careful now, and refuel, and let's just power up. So I might, it's about 6 away. I might be able to get there in one go. I might be also really pushing my luck a little bit. Looking at the fuel and looking at where we need to go, I can already tell we could probably glide in towards the end, but you know, we will lose the cargo if we do crash into the ground at speed. So what I'll do is I'll play it safe by landing here. So a little bit of power, and There we go. Oh, landed on 2 wheels there rather than the 3. We'll refuel and we'll almost not stop. And I'm going to point the plane in the gap of this area here because I know we're not going to have the room to take off there. And there we go. Okay, so we are heading back over. So all good so far, I think. Let me just change direction because I basically don't want to land this sort of L shape. That would not work out for me. Reduce throttle just a little bit, and then we'll just gently set it down like that, and not terrible at all. Okay, thank you for the delivery. Here are 52 coins. Only need 1 more tools. 1 more tools will complete this area, I think. Let me have a quick look. It would complete this one. Okay, alright. However, what I'm going to do is we need 2 big batteries there, 3 small batteries there, lumber and logs. We got farm. We got something else over here. I'm going to do something maybe a little bit silly, but I'm going to just basically point the plane at this direction, and I'm going to try and take off, which I've now done. And I'm just going to have a little explore, because my plan was to go back to the very start anyway, so I don't mind just crashing it into the ground and starting again. Apparently we're all I was going to say, apparently we're immortal, or we have a resurrection ship from Battlestar Galactica, but that's not probably a reference that nobody's going to get. Anyway, let's head over here. Like I say, just trying to explore around a little bit. I might make it to another landing site. Error, strange unidentified pattern. Okay. Low on fuel, and okay, so we do have another area here, and we are lined up, but you can see the fuel gauge is, well, I've pegged the dial, basically. It's on pretty much 0. We've probably got 5% fuel remaining, but luckily I have been able to, more luck than judgment here, line it right up and have a nice little landing. There we go. Village get by an earthquake. Can you help us get back on our feet? Let's see what we need for this one. It is medicine, big batteries, and fruit. Okay, fine. I can do that. However, I'm going to edit the plane. And I'm going to do, let's just see, any research. Can we unlock an engine? I can unlock an engine, and I will unlock an engine. So we'll do that. And let's go to edit plane. And I'm going to delete the engine at the front after moving this wheel set back over. And what on earth have I done there? That wasn't my intention, but it is actually quite funny, I think. So this is going to go on there, and then this thing is going to go on here, and that will cheapen the thing up anyway, which is what we want. And it says make the fuselage bigger. We could do, what I'm going to do instead, however, is I'm going to shove a fuel tank right on the top. Just going to double check the center of gravity, which is about right there. I think I'm just going to make it a little bit longer to get as much as we possibly can. So that's increased it to 45. I don't know if that is going to help out, and truth be told, where things are at the moment, I don't know if this thing's even going to take off anymore, because I've only got the basic wooden wings. But let's see, this is going to be a lot quicker and have a lot more fuel, and I'm trying to take off, and it did take off. I mean, it got there in the end, put it that way. Big batteries, how much are the big batteries? They are 55, so I can't do that. What I'm going to do, I think fixing the wind turbines is the wing stress too high, slow down. Oh, I've never actually seen that before. Interesting, okay. That's probably the strength thing coming into play. But you can see the difference in what the engine does. So we've got obviously a bigger engine and more fuel capacity. Now we're able to make it to this area here without really any problems. So I'm going to refuel that one. I now want to head over to the lumber camp, so that's going to require small batteries. So 1, 2, 3, 4 small batteries, I believe it was. So let's just go. So max power, and let's see if we rip the wings off or not. We will take off and head over here. I say my plan is to hopefully get that thing built, the wind turbine. I say it built. I know there's actually multiple parts of the quest line, if you could call it a quest line, but for various missions, objectives, jobs, transport options. I'm going to have to slow down. There we go. But you can see now we're able to pretty much go a lot further and a lot quicker. Although the wings don't like that. They are... well, they're not sentient, but if they could complain, they would. And... let's just see about landing here. I mean, a landing's going to happen pretty definitely. Name the quote. Here's 60 coins for the effort, so that's all good. So we've deleted? Well, that's come from. One of our workers is getting sick. Can you deliver 5 medicine? I guess we can. Let me just refuel here. I'm just going to spin this around. Load cargo, and it is... Ah, okay. Well, we can do lumber now, which is good because it's only 45 and we can handle 45. So, again, more luck than judgment there. We need to do tools, and that requires batteries. That is batteries. That is wood logs. Don't know about that one. Big batteries. Basically, it's tools, isn't it? I'm going to load 1 tool, and I'm going to head, and that will complete this section of the wind turbine, and that will also unlock, well, allow us to unlock more parts because that's going to give us some scrap, so that's all good. What I'm going to do is do a bit of a detour here. We've got the fuel in order to do this. Is this a... no, it's not another location. We've been here before, and bird strike, and no, maybe not. I'm just exploring the map. You can see I'm unlocking it. It's good to do that because it gives you more visibility on the minimap, and also, frankly, I might have messed this up. Okay, let's see if we can land in... oh no, this is bad. This is all kinds of bad. Right, yeah, what I was going to say is you find different bits of scrap lying about the place, so it will help you out. So just going to get a bit of power on this one because otherwise we're going to crash right into that, and yeah, we've managed to land on that one. So thank you for the tools. Here are 80... why am I reading things backwards? 98 coins for the effort. And there we go. So we have got some coins, a total of 161 to be technical. Oh, cold beverage. Thank you for helping me get started on the repairs. Here are 15 scraps for the effort. So that's done that, and that will allow us to, I believe, unlock some extra parts. Probably wings is next because they currently want to rip off from the fuselage, and that's suboptimal anyway. Need some building materials. Can you get 1 lumber to repair the turbines? Yes. In fact, we can definitely get that done. Okay. Well, is there anywhere else that requires batteries? Yes. The Maplewood, this one here, requires 3 small batteries, and I can get 3 small batteries. But we're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of the game, and Aviassembly, yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Like I say, it is arcadey, and what I really like, one of the bigger things is the iteration thing of it, is that you don't build something necessarily from the beginning anyway, but you don't like build one thing and then have to massively swap to other things. You can sort of iterate, make a better plane. I think later on you will have to customize and focus on various things. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, and in the next episode we will do a couple more of these jobs. We're going to take lumber to the wind turbines. On the way to the lumber camp, we're actually going to go and stop off at the Maplewood, helping out the village here, and we'll deliver some batteries, and we might even go and visit the farm as well. But we've also got many other places to go, so obviously there's nowhere near any sort of complete, but yeah, it is what it is. And as always, hope you have enjoyed this little look at the game. Let me know what you think, and as always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings.